So in the previous section, we created our 4 subnets, 2 public and 2 private subnets in 2 different availability zones. So right now, we need to create route tables on each of these subnets so that they can communicate with each other and as well as with the internet. We'll start first with the public subnets. For the public subnets, they need to communicate with the internet. So to create a route table, we click on route tables on the left panel. So we see here that we have already 2 default route tables, one for the default VPC, and another one for the VPC that we just created. So if we don't create any route tables, these will be the ones used by default. These are the implicit ones. But then what we shall do is that we shall create route tables ourselves. All right, so the first thing is that let's start by creating a route table. We shall enter VPC A public route table. Then, as usual, we select the VPC. Let's create a route table. Okay, so the VPC A public route table is created. Okay, so now this route table comes by default with a public with a local route. So what we need to do is that for this public route table, we need to add a route that goes to the internet. Okay, so the route table is created, and as we can see, it only has one local route. And so in the later part, to enable internet access, we will need to add a route to an internet gateway. That shall happen later on. Okay, so what we need to do right now is to go to the Subnet Associations tab. Then from there, we shall click Edit Subnet Associations. So let's select the 2 public subnets, the VPC A public subnet and in availability zone 1 and VPC A public subnet in availability zone 2. This is because we want to associate only these subnets to the route to this route table. So we'll click Save Associations. So these 2 subnets will now be explicitly associated with the route with the different routes. Okay, so that was it for the public route table. So let's do the same thing for the private route table. Let's click route tables again. And we see that this is the new route table that we just created, the public route table. So let's create a route table for the private subnets. Click Create Route Table. Then we give it the name, select our VPC as usual, then create the route table. Again, by default, it has the local route, which is just a local route. And then in the next step, in a future step, this time around, we are going to enable internet access by connecting this to a NAT gateway. NAT meaning network address translating. We shall see how to do that next time. So again, we go to Subnet Associations, and then we click Edit Subnet Associations. This time around, we select both the 2 private subnets, the one in availability zone 2 and the one in availability zone 1. And then we click Save Associations. Okay, so we see that these 2 private subnets are explicitly associated to the routes in this route table. All right, so that brings us to the end of this section. We've learned how to create route tables and associate them to subnets. We've created a public route table for the public subnets and a private route table for the private subnets. So that's it for this section. Thank you very much for viewing, and see you in the next one.